class. This is the Cardio Circuit online fitness test. So if you missed the in-person test, obviously this is the online test. So I think there's a couple of you who are in this situation that are watching right now. This is the second time that we've done it, so it's the mid-semester. It's the same as the first one, but I'm going to demonstrate the exercises that you'll be testing. So make sure that you have a piece of paper so you can write your results down, and then you can bring those results to me in class and we can transfer those onto your actual paper, okay? The first test is the resting heart rate. So you just want to make sure that you sit down and count your pulse for 60 seconds, and that's all you're doing. You're just counting how many beats per minute. So write down that. So during this fitness test, what I'll do is I'll describe the exercise. I will demonstrate the exercise, and then I will ask you to pause the video and do the exercise, and then play the video and come on back to the next exercise, okay? So the first one is the resting heart rate, so go ahead and pause the video and then just counting your pulse for 60 seconds, write down your number, and then press play and come on back. Okay, so you've just done your resting heart rate, and so we're going to move on to the upper body test, which is the shoulder tap push-ups. So the first time you did this, you circled modified or traditional, and that just simply means if you're doing your push-ups with your knees on the floor or your knees off the floor. So I'm going to demonstrate both. You can change it if you'd like, but it's 1 minute timed, and then you're going to do as many of these as you can, and you're going to keep count. So you're going to count how many you can complete in 1 minute. This is what it looks like. So if you're modified, your knees are down, you're going to tap your shoulder, do a push-up. That's 1. If it's traditional, you're going to tap with your knees off the floor, do a push-up. That's 1. Continuous, so you're going to keep track of your time. So start a time, a clock, an alarm, whatever it is, for 1 minute, and then keep count of how many you can do, and then you'll press play and come on back. Okay, so we just finished our shoulder tap push-up test, and we're going to move on to the lower body test, which is a squat lunge. You're going to do this as a max test, so the amount that you can do until you're going to stop. So it's not timed, it's just continuous until you're done. And hi, kitty. I'm going to demonstrate the exercise, okay? So it's a squat into a lunge and lunge, that's 1. Squat, lunge, that's 2. You're doing that until you stop or you feel good about your results, and then you'll write down your results. So go ahead and pause the video, do your test, and then come on back. Play. All right, so you just did your lower body test, and we're going to move on to our abdominal strength test. And so this is, we're going to do this for a timed, because it's a surrender. So you're going to time yourself how long you can hold this position, and then you'll write down your time. It's a surrender, so this is what it looks like. Remember this. Legs are elevated, head and shoulders are elevated, arms are extended, palms facing up, and then we're just really focusing on breathing and holding. So you'll start your time when you hold, and then when you're done, you'll stop your time. You'll write down that time and then press play and come on back. All right, so you just did the abdominal strength exercise fitness test. So now we're going to move on to the core, which is that low plank, high plank exercise for, this is a number, and it's a max time for 1 minute. So you'll set your clock for 1 minute, and then you're going to keep count of how many of these you do in 1 minute. So it looks like this. You're going to start in low plank, and you're going to go up into high plank, down, that's 1. Up into high plank, down, that's 2. Continuous for a minute, keeping count. Write down your number when your minute is over, and then press play. All right, so we just finished our up-down exercise, our core test. So now we're gonna go into the cardio test, which is a heart rate, a pulse, and we just time the pulse for 10 seconds, okay? You'll do this after you do this particular exercise for 1 minute as fast as you can. And then when your minute is up, you're gonna check your pulse, count for 10 seconds, and then you're gonna write that number down. And then in about 50 seconds, 45 seconds after that, you're gonna take your pulse for your recovery. And that's the recovery, hello again, the recovery pulse. So you'll take your pulse within a minute post-exercise, right, doing nothing. And then you're gonna write down that pulse for 10 seconds for your recovery heart rate. Okay, and then you'll be done with that exercise. This is what it looks like. Remember, it's a jumping jack, and then it's a plank, step back. Jumping jack, step back. Do that for 1 minute as fast as you can. As soon as that minute is up, check your pulse, count for 10 seconds, write that down. Wait about 45, 50 seconds later, take your pulse again for recovery heart rate, and then write that down, and then press play and come on back. Okay, so the healthy habits questions, the first one is the physical activity. How many days per week are you physically active where you elevate your heart rate more than like at least 30 to 45 minutes per session? The first time you answered it without this class, so it would have been without this class obviously, but now it's 2 days per week with this class. And if you're doing any more than just these 2 days of this class, then you'll just add. So if you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you would put 3. And if you add another day in the weekend, that would be 4, obviously, okay? The second healthy habits question is, I think it's resistance training? Yeah, so how many days per week are you in a resistance training program where maybe you're using body weight exercises, you're maybe using dumbbells or barbells or anything that your focus is on resistance training, okay, so strength. We do that 2 days per week, so if it's just the 2 days, you're gonna put 2 as your result. If it's more than that, you can add, so maybe 1 more day or 3 or 4, whatever it is that you're doing per week. And then the third question was nutritionally. You were to rate on a scale from 1 to 10 nutritionally, if, how healthy do you feel that you are at this point in your life due to nutrition? Has that changed at all since you started this class? Like maybe because of this class, you started paying attention more to what you're eating in the morning, maybe just comprehensively with your food intake, your calories, your fat, your sugars, anything like that. If it's changed, you're gonna write the number, what you think you are right now, and then rating your fitness level right now. So you'll write down fitness level, and if that's a higher number, I would suppose it would be a higher number since you started this class, but you're rating yourself 1 to 10 on your fitness levels at this point in time. How fit do you feel like you are? 10 being the most fit you've ever been in your life, and then obviously 1 being the least fit. And then the last question was the personal goals. So you're going to try and remember what goals you wrote down and see you're going to respond to those goals. So if you don't have those goals in front of you, you're just going to try and remember what they were, and then just write down something like you believe you've achieved this one goal for this reason. You might want to just wait until you get the paper and you transfer your information to write your response to your goals. So that would be fine as well. And that's it. So bring all your answers to me at class next week, and then we'll transfer that information down. All right, bye.